Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this audio. My name is JC Rangel, and I'm very excited to share some powerful information with you, some powerful mindset information with you to help you take your business to the next level. You see, in this audio, we're going to talk about a lot about philosophies and the championship mindset that it takes to go out there and make a 6 and a 7-figure income and create a team of thousands and thousands and thousands of people that contribute to your residual income on a daily basis. But here's the deal. Before I get into that training, I want to give you a little bit of my background, a little bit of my story. Maybe some of the things that happened in my story you're able to relate with. You see, I got started in the industry of network marketing when I was 18 years old. And at 18 years old, I graduated from high school. And then all of my friends were either going to school or they were getting a job. So I went out there and I tried to get a job. School was never really my thing. I wasn't necessarily closed off to it, but I wasn't very confident about it. So I want to try to get a job, and I come to find out that I can't get a job legally because I am illegal. You see, I was born in Mexico and I was brought to this country at age 6. So when I was 18 years old, I actually still did not have a social security number. I like to tell people, I went to McDonald's and they said, hey, you're not going to be loving this, right? You can't get a job here. I went to Burger King and they said, hey, you can't have it your way, right? You are illegal. They called me an illegal alien, okay? But here's the cool part, that I said, okay, that's fine. So my friends started going to college, right? They started getting student loans and going to college. And I realized that a lot of the people were actually using those student loans to go on vacation, not to really study. But I went to school. I went to a community college, tried to get a loan for my books. And then they said to me, you can't get a loan either. Why not? Because you are illegal. You don't have a social security number. We can't give you a loan. You have to pay for your own books. So I find myself in an interesting situation where I'm like, I want to study. I want to do what my teachers have told me to do all my life. So I want to study, but I don't qualify to get the books for free. I got to pay for everything. And then I can't get a job to pay for those books because I'm also illegal. So a friend of mine says to me, JC, if you go to the military, they'll accept you. They'll send you to war, but they'll accept you and you get your papers. And I said, done. Keep in mind, I graduated from high school in July of 2001. Right before 9/11. So at this time, 9/11 had already happened. And they said, they're taking anybody and everybody. So I remember like it was yesterday. I took the bus. I got on Long Beach Boulevard, which turns into Pacific Boulevard, into the city of Huntington Park, California. I go up to the Marine Corps office. I let them know I want to become a Marine. I want to join the military. They greet me with open arms, and when they find out that I don't have a social security number, they tell me that they can't help me. I said, what are you talking about? You can't help me. So they told me that you guys are taking anybody, man. I want to become a Marine. Here's the deal. Nope, didn't work. So now I can't become a Marine, right? I couldn't get a job to help my single mom pay for the bills, right? And I couldn't go to school, right? Unless I paid for my own books, which is fine, right? A friend of mine, however, invites me to a Starbucks. And I go to the Starbucks, and they show me a business, a network marketing business. The guy just had a white piece of paper and he drew a bunch of circles on the white piece of paper and told me stories and talked about residual income and passive income, and I fell in love. I saw a light at the end of the tunnel. I saw a way that I could make some extra money, and in addition to making extra money, make a lot of money on a residual income basis. And I found a way that I could literally retire my mom, because that was one of my goals I always had. I just didn't know how I was going to do it. So when the job told me no, school told me no, the military told me no, I told these guys, I don't have a social security number. Can I do this? And they said, yes, you can. We'll get you a tax ID number and you're good to go. So sounds good. I got started, wrote down my whys, my goals. One of my whys, my biggest why was retire mom on or before the age of 30. I wanted to retire my mom before I turned 30. Ladies and gentlemen, my first 6 months in network marketing, I made a whopping $60. 60. That's an average of $10 a month. So by my 5th month, I got a check for $60. My 6th month, I didn't make anything, and that's it. So my career high, 6 months into network marketing, was $60. But I didn't give up. I didn't get discouraged. They told me things like, if you stick and stay, you'll get your pay. If you stick and stay, you'll get your pay. So I went forward and we started building a business. I started listening to my mentors, following the system. By the age of 26, my mom used to work for a rich lady in Beverly Hills. I remember going up to my mom. I remember as if it was yesterday. And I go to my mom and I say, Mom, you don't have to go to work tomorrow. As a matter of fact, you don't have to go to work ever again. Welcome to the rest of your life. You see, I remember those days where my mom used to get home from a long day of work and her back was hurting and she could barely move, and she would always have to clean the house and stuff and cook for us, and we would try to tell her, my brothers and I used to try to tell her, no, it's okay, but she always wanted to do something, but she was so tired, and I felt so helpless that I couldn't help my mom. You see, I was raised in that environment where one single mom could raise 3, 4, 5 kids, but 3, 4, 5 kids when they become adults couldn't retire a single mom. So that's why I want to retire my mom. So I made that goal, and that happened by the age of 26 because of some of the information that we're going to share with you in this audio here today. See, I say that story not to impress you, but to impress upon you that if somebody like me could do it, you can do it. See, the reality, ladies and gentlemen, is this. I was that kid that was in special ed classes till the 10th grade. I didn't learn to read or write till the 4th or the 5th grade. So needless to say, by the age of 18, by the age of 17, and being a senior, I wasn't voted most likely to succeed. I did, however, always had the prettiest prom date. I had the prettiest prom date to my prom. That's about the credit that I get when it comes to my high school days, right? But other than that, I wasn't voted most likely to succeed. But I had some mentors. I learned some information that drastically changed my life. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you and congratulate you for making the decision to change your life. You see, in this audio, what you're going to do is you're going to realize some philosophies that you've probably never heard before. And one of the things that I learned throughout the years is that successful people and rich people think significantly different than everybody else. You see, rich people have a big library while poor people have a big screen TV. In other words, rich people educate themselves while poor people entertain themselves. You see, what I just mentioned right now, that rich people have a big library while poor people have a big screen TV, that's a philosophy. That rich people educate themselves and poor people entertain themselves. So there's certain philosophies that you're going to adapt as you go on, whether it's in this business or at your job or who you hang out with. Everybody you're hanging out with, everybody in the world has certain philosophies that drive their decisions and that eventually create their life. Okay, so you're going to hear a lot about philosophies. Now, in this audio, I'm also going to give you a shortcut to success. Okay, and the success that you're going to achieve starts with, once again, your philosophies. So throughout this audio, you're going to hear me talk about these philosophies and belief systems. Now, what are philosophies? Your philosophies are what govern the things that turn out in your life. Philosophies is the information that you hold. Okay, the information in your mind, how you hold that information, and how that information affects your life. See, your philosophies, ladies and gentlemen, are like filters. They process the information that goes through, your philosophies process the information that goes through the filter, and then they determine how you act. See, if your philosophies are, let's say for instance, money doesn't grow on trees, then guess what? You are repelling money instead of attracting money, because you have a philosophy that money doesn't grow on trees, that money is hard to come by. And guess what? Money will be hard to come by. It'll become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Why? Because of your philosophies. Okay? My mentor always told me, JC, if you want to fail, follow the masses. Once again, what is that? A philosophy. If you want to fail, follow the masses. He says, the people around you, if people around you think that you're crazy for doing what you're doing, then you're probably doing something right. I got to tell you that coming up in my network marketing industry and my network marketing companies that I've worked in the past and to this date, I've always had people that thought I was crazy. I always had people that criticized me. I always had people that didn't believe in me, a bunch of doubters, people that talked behind my back. That all is going to happen. Negativity. Okay, people don't believe in you. People will lie to you. People will talk behind your back. I literally had some friends that called a bunch of my other friends and told them, hey, don't answer JC's phone call. He's going to invite you to some pyramid deal. Here's the reality. People don't know what they don't know. And sometimes when people don't know what they don't know, it's okay. But guess what most people are doing? They're going to work and they're punching a clock and they're trading time for money. So that's why we say, if you want to fail, follow the masses. Because what are the masses doing? They're living paycheck to paycheck. The masses are programmed. They've got 14,000 hours from the kindergarten to the 12th grade where they're programmed to be average. They say, go to school, get good grades, study hard, graduate, then get a good high-paying what? Job. And then the successful ones are ultimately going to end up with the safe, secure JOB, which in our biz, that's an acronym that stands for Just Over Broke, Journey of the Broke, Jumping Out of Bed, a bunch of different acronyms, okay? So they say if you're one of the successful ones, you're going to have a safe, secure job. Then you're going to have your 2 or 3 bedroom house, white picket fence, 2.5 kids, and a brand new Honda Accord every 3 or 4 years. See, that was what I was pitched. Now, here's the deal. That's what I was pitched, but that is not what I bought. I said, what if I don't want that 2 or 3 bedroom house only? What if I want a bigger house? What if I want a house in a nicer neighborhood? What if I want a Honda Accord, but in addition to a Honda Accord, I want a Lamborghini? Or instead of a Honda Accord, I want a BMW and a Maserati, white one. A white Maserati with red interior. That is actually the car that I have now. But why? Because I chose to not follow and get programmed by those 14,000 hours. See, for 14,000 hours, that's what they tell you from kindergarten to the 12th grade. Once again, is 14,000 hours. And they program you to be average. See, you and I were born being champions, and we were born being relentless. See, look at a child when they're born. A child is going to get what they want, and they're going to be relentless about getting it. But then somewhere along the line, they're tamed. That's why this information, society tames us. That's why we need to get trained. That's why we train people, okay? So for 14,000 hours, you're being told, go to school, study hard, graduate, get good grades so you can graduate and get a good high-paying job. See, if somebody told you for 14,000 hours that you are ugly, guess what you're going to believe? That you are ugly. The most beautiful people in the world would believe that they're ugly if they were told for 14,000 hours that they're ugly. Okay? Here's a reality. If you go to work for somebody else, once again, and you punch a clock, you've got a great chance of being broke. You've got a great chance of living a box life and in a box world. Now, what does that mean? People that live a box life in a box world. They sleep in a box-shaped bed inside of their box house, all right, where they get up in a hurry and they eat out of their box cereal. Then they get into their box car, drive to their box building that they call a job. They work out of their box cubicle. They work out of their box computer. Then, they get home, right? And before they get home, they get once again in their box car. Then they drive home. Then they watch their box television to watch the news. And here's what's on the news. Nothing but negative stuff. The news is the only place that says good evening. Then they proceed to tell you why it's not so good. It's nothing but negative information that enters your subconscious mind and it creates your reality. Now, let me ask you a question. Who does that? The masses. That's why we mentioned, if you want to fail, follow the masses. If you want an average life, follow the masses. But I don't know about you. I don't want an average life. I don't want an average car. I don't want an average spouse. And I don't want to watch an average movie. Imagine that. In theaters this weekend, we've got the most incredible average movie with average actors, average plot, average acting, right? In an average size theater this weekend. I don't know about you, but I'm not excited about paying $12 or $13 for that movie. Okay? See, here's a reality. The news is the only place, okay, where once again they tell you good evening and proceed to tell you why it's not so good. So guess what? I didn't want that life. See, that goes back to the point where we talk about rich people educate themselves while poor people entertain themselves. So here's a question. What is the difference that makes a difference? The difference that makes a difference is who you hang out with and the books you read. The two things that are going to dictate where you're going to be in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years is the people you hang out with and the books that you read. And if you hang out with the right people, they're going to dedicate the right books and the right audios for you to listen to. Congratulations for listening to this information right now, because most people, they're not listening to this. They're probably listening to the radio. And whoever advised you to listen to this, they probably advised you to listen to this and only this and this kind of information for the next 30 days. Don't listen to the radio. Guess who listens to the radio? Broken average people. I don't know about you, but I didn't want to be broken average. Somebody said to me a long time ago, because they had a broke mindset. They said, JC, I don't know, being an entrepreneur is hard. Building a network marketing business is hard. No, let me tell you what's hard. Being broke and being average is hard. This is easy. See, that's what people are pissed that it's hard. See, here's the reality. I don't care how excited you are about your opportunity. Not everybody is going to be as excited as you are for your opportunity. The reality is that you've got to get trained and learn some skills, okay? Some fundamentals. You got to invite people properly. Now, you're going to get some negative people. In my experience, most of those negative people, guess what they also have? A negative bank account. You're going to get people that tell you no. I'm telling you right now, you're going to get negative people. Some of you guys are going to be so excited to call your people because you've got the greatest thing ever. And you're going to get some very negative people. But here's the reality. At some point, somebody is going to say, I told you so. Either you are going to say, I told you so, or they're going to tell you because you quit. And they're going to say to you, I told you so. The decision is yours. People are going to say things to you like they're brainwashing you. My response to them is, good. I needed a good brainwash. I'm broke. What I'm doing isn't working. Besides, I'd rather be brainwashed by a millionaire than brainwashed by my broke friends, family members, and colleagues and neighbors. But here's the reality. People who say things like, those things don't work. That's like me being 300 pounds, right? And telling you, hey, wait a minute. You just signed up to the gym? Oh man, total scam. I signed up to the year 2001 and I'm still fat. That's a pyramid scheme. They took your money. Are you kidding me? The gym works, right? It's a person, the individual that doesn't work. Just like your business, it works. You've got to work the business. You've got to develop the right mindset. You've got to develop the skills. And you got to go out there and make it happen. And it won't be easy, but I guarantee you one thing. It is worth it. You're in the network marketing industry. This is the best industry that gets the average person like myself a real shot to become successful, to learn some skills, and to go out there and build a residual income and eventually have that time freedom. Live a life that other people just merely dream of living. Okay? So what I want you to do right now is I want you to go back into the sandbox when you were a kid. What did you dream of being? You see, as a kid doesn't say, I'm going to try to be an astronaut. See, a kid knows, I'm going to do this when I get older. I'm going to be this when I get older. Because we were all born winners and relentless, okay? But somewhere along the line, we were programmed for mediocrity. Somewhere down the line, somebody told you, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't go there. You can't be that. You've got to be realistic. Why? Because a child by the age of 5 has heard the word no 40,000 times and the word yes only 5,000 times. See, what are some of the things that they told us as a kid? You are to be seen, not heard. Exactly. Birds of a feather flock together. That part was true. Don't talk to strangers. Imagine if you had that mindset. Don't talk to strangers in any business you're in. Kids are to be seen, not heard. So you are to be seen, not heard. How would you do with that philosophy? And then somewhere along the line, like we mentioned, you heard the word no significantly more times than the word yes. Here's the reality. You've got to go back into the sandbox and what you wanted to be. What did you really want to be? What were the dreams that you had? Now, here's one thing you have to understand. You cannot live a life beyond your wildest expectations until you first have some wild expectations. You can't live that life. But here's the reality. When we're building this business, any network marketing leader knows, there's different kinds of people we're going to find out there. There's a 27 percenters, there's a 60 percenters, the 10 percenters, and the 3 percenters. The 27 percenters are people that are not motivatable. They can't be motivated. 27% population, not motivatable. Not going to happen. Sorry. You are not, I guarantee you are not a 27 percenter. There's a 99.999% chance you are not a 27 percenter. You know why? Because you're listening to this audio. If you were a 27 percenter, you wouldn't listen this far. So congratulations, because you don't want to be a 27 percenter. Then the next bracket is a 60 percenters. 60% of the population are the motivatable ones. 60% of the population are the ones that they see something, they get excited, they're open-minded, they easily get excited, but at the same time, they easily get distracted. They easily get discouraged. That's the 60 percenters. So the question is, where are you? You're definitely not a 27 percenter. So are you a 60 percenter? Are you up and down? Are you like a wild roller coaster ride where sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, and it depends. If you had a good day, you have a good attitude. See, champions have a great attitude, not a good attitude. Champions have a great attitude no matter what. Champions have a great attitude no matter what. So a 60 percenter isn't a champion. They have a good attitude as long as things are going their way. You know, I study a lot the law of attraction, and one of the things it talks about is that when things don't go your way, cultivate gratitude. In the Science of Getting Rich, it says when things don't go your way or you don't reach a certain goal, there's a reason why that happens. So in times of doubt or in times of where things don't go right, cultivate gratitude. That means that you have a great attitude no matter what. Matter of fact, when things don't go your way, even more reason, and it's a great test for you to decide, I'm going to be a champion. I'm going to have a great attitude. There's always something to be grateful for. There's always a learning lesson. Okay? Then the next bracket is the 10 percenters. 10% of the population are the motivated. These are the self-motivated people. These are the people that have a great attitude no matter what. They're going to show up to the events. Guest, no guest, team, no team. They show up to the events. They show up to the trainings. They get on the conference calls. They want to reach financial freedom. That's the 10 percenters. So if you're a 60 percenter, the books you read, the people you hang out with, the functions you attend, the trainings you attend, the actions you take are going to help you become a 10 percenter. And let me tell you something. If you're a 60 percenter, you want to be a 10 percenters because 10 percenters make way more money than 60 percenters. And then the next bracket is the 3 percenters. 3% of the population are the motivators. Not only are they self-motivated, but they inspire others to become self-motivated. They inspire 60 percenters to become 10 percenters and 10 percenters to become 3 percenters. They're the ones that get people to do things otherwise they wouldn't have done had it not been for them. They get other people to believe in themselves when otherwise they did not believe in themselves. That is a 3 percenter. When you become a 3 percenter, it is inevitable. It is inevitable. You're going to become a 6 and 7 figure earner. You're going to reach the goals that you set out to reach. Why? Because you're a 3 percenter. But only 3 out of 100 people are in that bracket. Here's the cool part. 3 percenters are not born, they're created. You can make a decision right now that you are a 3 percenter. Not that you're gonna be, that you are. Because a person, here's the reality, ladies and gentlemen. If having the things that you want, if you were able to get the things that you wanted, being the person you are, you'd already have them. So you've got to evolve. You've got to make a decision where you leave the old person and don't wait for the new year. Do it now. Remember the movie Rocky 3, where Rocky fought Clubber Lang. For those of you boxing fans, Rocky fans, he fought Clubber Lang and lost the first fight. Then he's training again for the rematch. And he's scared. He doesn't know if he can beat him. So he's running, right? He's running against Apollo, and then Apollo beats him. Apollo realizes Rocky's not really trying. So Apollo asked Rocky, he asked him, "What's wrong, Rock?" And Rock says, "Tomorrow." That's all he said. Tomorrow. That tomorrow he'll work out harder. That tomorrow he'll take it more seriously. And Apollo screamed at him and said, "There is no tomorrow." And you hear it echo, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. You know why? Because the only thing that exists is now, and champions understand that. You see, when tomorrow comes, tomorrow's coming now. Whatever day it is right now, if you're listening to this on a Tuesday, when tomorrow, Wednesday comes, guess what? Wait till Wednesday comes, and guess what it is? It's still now. Champions don't wait. They take action. If something is worth doing, it's worth doing right now. Take action. If you don't have a notepad, you should right now go and get a notepad. Put this on pause. Go get a notepad and start taking notes and start being a champion. And stop being a little wimp. Stop being an excuse maker. Stop being a procrastinator, because procrastination is a cornerstone of poverty. So be a champion. Be relentless. Make a decision. The person that you want to be is 6 inches away from you. And those 6 inches are in between your 2 ears. Get fired up. Don't wait for the people to get you motivated. Don't wait for the people to get you fired up. What if they don't show up? You better get your damn self fired up. Because the champions are not created in the ring. They're just recognized there. The champions were motivated at 4 in the morning when they got up and ran their 3 miles, their 5 miles. They were in the gym. They put way more blood, sweat, and tears in the gym, in the ring in the gym, than they did in the ring where they competed and won the world title. Get up and be a champion and be relentless. Don't be a victim. You got to be a victor. See, here, let me give you some attributes of a victim, which is where you don't want to be. A victim is somebody that they do 3 things. Number 1, they blame. They blame everybody else for their circumstances. It's never their fault. They expect everything to be done for them. They feel like a sense of entitlement. If you ever felt people that have a sense of entitlement, like the world owes them something. That actually reminds me of another movie, another Rocky movie. I believe it was Rocky 2. Where Rocky's talking to, obviously I'm a Rocky fan, right? Rocky's talking to Paulie, and Paulie says, why don't you get me a job? And Rocky says, why do I got to get you a job? And he says, you owe me, right? Paulie says, you owe me. He says, let me tell you something. And that's when Paulie tried to fight him. It was kind of funny. Paulie was throwing punches at Rocky, and Rocky was just blocking and moving. And, Rocky wasn't even hitting him or nothing. Just waited till Paulie got tired. And then Paulie's huffing and puffing. And then Rocky says to him, nobody owes you nothing. You owe yourself. You see, victims think that the world owes them something. The world doesn't owe me anything. I owe it to myself to go out there and give it everything I got. And if I work hard and hang out with the right people and read the right books, I can have everything I want. And nobody owes me nothing. I owe myself. That's what a victor mentality is. So don't blame. When you blame, you give away power. Don't point the finger, because when you point a finger, there's three more pointing back at you. The second thing that victims do is that they complain. They complain about everything. They're annoying. Stop being annoying, man. They complain about their job, about their boss, about traffic, about their parents, about their spouse, about the economy. They're just negative. I call them neg bags. It's like, dude, if somebody's complaining about how freaking miserable their life is, I don't want to be around you. I don't hang out with negative people. My life is too positive to hang out with negative people. Some people are so negative, they'll walk into a dark room and develop. Does that make sense? Right? Because they're so negative. And some of you guys will get that before you go to sleep. Some of you guys will get that on the way home, okay? Some people are just so negative, I don't want to be around them. Don't let negative people invade space in your mind. See, here's the deal. This reminds me of a quote. If you want to change the people around you, you've got to change the people around you, meaning you got to replace some. If you can't change the way some people think, making them more positive or making them more optimistic or making them work hard, if you can't change the way they are, you got to replace them. They're holding you down, man. You got to replace them and find yourself some new friends. Bottom line, some of your friends should only be acquaintances. Some of your friends should only be people that you see from time to time. Some of your friends should only be people that you know. That's it. I know him. He's not my friend. I know him. He's not my friend. We don't have anything in common. That person's negative. I like to have a positive life. Okay? And then the third thing that negative people do is that they justify. They say things like, money isn't everything. Or they say things like, money changes people. See, victims have a habit of being negative. See, they've got unconsciously, that's what they need in their life, to be negative. They don't know what they want to do. They don't take responsibility for anything. But see, you now have that self-awareness. Now you know that victims blame, they complain, and they justify. You know what champions do? Champions take 100% responsibility for everything good or bad, especially the bad. That's what champions do. See, a lot of people justify not being ambitious. Victims justify not being ambitious. Okay, so how do you create a champion mindset? You have to be aware of your actions. You got to analyze your reactions. Be aware of the actions that you're taking. Take 100%. If there's a quote that says, if it's to be, it's up to me. Okay, analyze your reactions. Okay, how are you reacting when things happen? See, especially when things that are not very favorable happen. How are you taking that? You could tell the size of a man by the size of the problem that gets them down. So how are you reacting to those things? What a champion also does is that they find a mentor. Okay, that's what a champion does. They find a mentor and they copy them. And in the network marketing industry, and in a lot of businesses, but especially in the network marketing industry, there's plenty of mentors. As a matter of fact, there's mentors from afar. Sometimes people are in a certain company where they don't have a lot of support or a lot of mentorship, but they could get that mentorship from afar. There's a lot now in the day and age we live in. It is significantly easier. It's significantly easier to become successful nowadays. Why? Because of so much information at your fingertips, on your phone. You've got $1 million or whatever amount of money you want on your phone. Not just with your contacts, but with the information that you can reach with your phone, okay? So champions get outside of their comfort zone. Everything that you want exists outside of your comfort zone, and a champion understands that. I've got to get uncomfortable. I've got to show the plan. I've got to prospect people. People will quit. That's a part of the business. The people that got me to one rank won't be the same people that get me to the next rank. I'm telling you right now. So when people quit, how's your attitude? Do you have a good attitude? See, most people, they're happy as long as they're rank advancing, as long as they're making money. But what about when things don't go your way? You see, that's why you have to be careful with the people that you let in your circle. Because your network determines your net worth. George Foreman said that. Remember, if you hang out with 5 broke people, you're going to be number 6. So another thing that you want to be very aware as you're building the business is that you have to have the right mindset and you have to have the right skills. You have to know the right things as far as how to be an entrepreneur, because that's what you are. So there's 3 success principles: OPI, OPE, and OPM. OPI means other people's ideas. You see, the company that you're a part of was somebody else's idea. You get to use that person's idea and go out there and make as little or as much money as you want. What a great concept. See, the idea is usually the hardest part. So somebody else's idea. Then OPE, other people's efforts. You get to build a network. You get to invite as many people as you want, put as much energy as you want, and get other people involved in the business with your training, but you also get paid off of their efforts and their contacts. And then your uplines also get to support you, so you benefit from their efforts as well. So successful people also use leverage. They use other people's efforts to make money. And then OPM, other people's money. Successful people are experts. Rich people are experts at using other people's money to make them more money. See, what if you got started with your network marketing company, or you were about to get started with your company and you didn't have the money to get started? Guess what? If you have a credit card, you can use the bank's money to get started in your network marketing company, and then get to work, follow the system, make that money back, and then go pay your bank off, and you just started on the bank's money, on the bank's dollar. How smart is that? You see, there's good debt and there's bad debt. If I'm investing in an asset that's going to pay me over and over and that's going to help me become a better person, a sharper person, a more confident person, which is what the network marketing industry does, that's an asset to me. You see, my philosophy when building my network marketing business is that we don't use people to build a business. We use this business to build people. We use this business to build champions. But see, you have to understand that the sacrifice has to be paid. The bottom line is that you have to be willing to work without pay in order to get paid without work. In the beginning, in any business, and network marketing is not the exception, you've got to be willing to put in the long hours, to build your business, to plant those seeds in order for you to reap the rewards. So in the beginning of your network marketing business, you're going to have to show up to meetings. Sometimes your guests or your team won't show up to meetings. Guess what? You show up, you participate, you have a great attitude no matter what. Okay? But guess what happens? In the beginning, you put in more hours. Okay? You put in more hours and you don't make a lot of money in the beginning. You don't make any money. Let me give you an example. My first 6 months in network marketing, I made a whopping $60. My 5th month, I got a check for $60. I was involved with that particular company for 6 months. The only thing I made was $60. That was 5 months into it. So over my 6-month career with that company, I made $60. Now, the reason why I only lasted 6 months with that company is because the company went under. It was a brand new company. Okay, it wasn't set up the right way. But anyways, that kind of stuff happens. But guess what? I didn't quit. Imagine if I would have quit at age 19. Because by the time the company went under, I was 19. I would not have retired my mom at age 26. Guess what my friends at age 26 were doing? Not retiring their mom. See, the reality is this. Most of us come from a background where one single mom can raise 3, 4, 5 kids. But 3, 4, 5 kids when they become adults can't retire one single mom. And that is not what I wanted to do. Okay? But then after a while, this gets reversed. You go like this. You go put in the work. You work, meetings, trainings. Then boom, you finally get a check. Like me, a lot of meetings, a lot of trainings, got a check for $60. That's me paying the price. That's me sacrificing. That's me being a champion because my mentors told me that that's how it was. Then, so you go work, check. Then you go work, check. So now you put a little bit less work, you got to check a little bit more often. Or maybe you put in, maybe the size of the check was a little bit bigger, but it's still lopsided. You still put in a lot more work than the money you made. Then you go work, check. 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 Now, let's say, for instance, you put in 20 hours a week and you made a $250, $350 check, and you're like, hey, you know what's not bad. But in the beginning, I put 6 months in and I made $60. Now I put in, 20 hours last week and I got a $200 check, $300 check. It's a lot better than before. Then it goes like this. Check, work. Then it goes check, 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 work. Then it goes check, 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 work. Then eventually it goes check, 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 vacation. Check, 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 another vacation. Check, 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 oh, work. And now work is fun. Now you're traveling all over the world doing presentations. But guess what? The price has to be paid up front and in full. That'll never become your reality. If you're moaning and groaning and complaining, it reminds me of the story, because this is how most people are. It reminds me of the story of a man that's walking down the street, sees a guy and his dog sitting down on the street, and the dog is kind of laying down, and he seems to be in pain. The dog is moaning and groaning. So this man, walking down the street, asks the owner of the dog, he says, hey, what's wrong with your dog? And the guy says, oh, my dog is moaning, he's crying, he's in pain because he's sitting on a nail. So this guy walking down the street's like, what a dumb dog. Well, why doesn't he just get up if he's sitting on a nail and it hurts him? So then the owner of the dog says, well, the reason why my dog doesn't get up off that nail is because it doesn't hurt him enough to get up. It only hurts him enough to moan and groan and complain. What is the moral of the story? How many people do we know, even us at times, moan and groan and complain about life, about our job, about our boss, about our coworkers, about our spouse, about traffic, our broken down car, whatever the case is, but we never do nothing about it. So what are you doing? Instead, you're putting a pity party for somebody else. You think other people want to hear your sob stories? Let me tell you something. Or a lot of people, they do even worse nowadays. They Facebook their problems. See, you're supposed to face your problems, not Facebook your problems. Here's the reality. 90% of the people on Facebook that find out your problems are glad you got them. And 10% don't care. So guess what? Stop Facebooking your problems. Face them. Stop being a spineless little wimp. Reach back and to the middle of your back. Put both your hands right now. If you're driving, pull over. Reach back and touch the middle of your back. Okay, the middle of your back. You see those bumps? You feel those bumps? That's called a backbone. You should use it sometimes if you're making these spineless little wimp excuses and sob stories. Oh, my life sucks. You know why your life sucks? Because you keep saying it sucks and you keep putting emotion to the fact that your life sucks. And guess what your life is going to continue to do? It's going to continue to suck. And guess what? Champions will not be around you. You will not attract champions. You're going to repel champions. Positive, upbeat winners will not want to be around you. They're not going to want to be around you because we don't like that kind of stuff. So as I mentioned earlier, now that you've started your network marketing business, trust me, you're going to call a lot of people. You're going to show them the plan through a third-party prospect, right? Through a video, through a live presentation, or whatever the case may be. And you're also going to get a lot of people that say, no, it's not for me, or even worse. But I'm telling you, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to get a lot of people that are just waiting to say, I told you so. And trust me when I tell you, somebody will say, I told you so. Either you're going to tell them with your results, I told you so, or they're going to tell you, I told you so, you were wasting your time. Those things don't work. Only the people at the top make all the money. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like everything else, who makes more money, you or your boss? Let me tell you something. Here's what you have to keep in mind. If you go to work to a building where your name is not on top of that building, then you are building somebody else's dream. The bottom line is this: you're not going to make more money than the guy at the top there either. Okay? So when they tell you that, you have to remember, my results will one day tell them I told you so. But here's the reality. Always be a gentleman. Always be a lady. You don't have to throw it in their face. Your results will show it for yourself. Because here's the way it goes. At first, they call you crazy. They call you delusional. They tell you you're wasting your time. They tell you to get a real job. Then when it works out, they call you a genius. They say that you're smart. They say things like, I always knew you could do it, right? But that's not what they were telling you. That's not what they were telling your friends. And here's the thing. Your friends and family members, you're going to have dream stealers. And they're cleverly disguised a lot of times as friends and family members. Don't take it personal. That happens to you, and that's happened to the best of us in this industry. You're going to get some dream stealers, people that don't believe in you. Some of the people you think are going to be the most supportive people, they're not going to be supportive. I'm telling you, but guess what? You're going to have some great experiences. Some people are going to be awesome. Some people are going to believe in you. Some people, even though they don't do the business with you, they're going to support you and they're going to say, you know what? I believe in you. It's not for me, but you know what? Best of luck. I'm glad you believe in this and you've got something you're passionate about. That's a reality, and that's how it's going to go. You see, it got to a point where I was just tired. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. and I made a decision to become relentless. And a lot of my friends said to me, man, you're obsessed. You see, obsessed is a word, one of their favorite words. Obsessed is a word used by small minds to describe those of us that are ambitious and goal-driven. Obsessed, here's a reality though. Nobody that was very successful told me that I was obsessed. So I made a decision, that's okay. I'm gonna be obsessed because I'm passionate about what I've got. I'm passionate about achieving financial freedom. You see, my son, I've got a 19-month-old son. I'm obsessed because my son, I'm gonna be my son's hero. You see, it's not gonna be some movie star. It's not gonna be some athlete on TV. It's gonna be his dad that's gonna be his hero. You know why? Because I'm gonna have the time and energy and health to spend with him. Because I'm gonna be obsessed with being a champion in every area of my life. I'm gonna be obsessed with being the kind of man that is gonna provide for his son what he wants and what he deserves. I'm also not gonna give my son everything he wants. You see, I heard a story of David Beckham. They say that David Beckham's son works at McDonald's. David Beckham told his son, no, see, I'm rich, you're not. You've got to go out there and pay the price. You've got to go out there and learn how to earn a living. And see, that's the kind of philosophy that I love. But see, these things that I'm going to teach my son are going to put him so far ahead of everybody else because they don't get this kind of training in school. See, I'm obsessed with being the best version of myself for my family. Success is my duty. I owe it to my family. As a matter of fact, I'm being selfish if I don't become massively successful. But guess what? In order to do that, you got to get committed. You got to get obsessed. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do it full time, but let's say you're part-time. Do the best you can with the time you've got. If you only work 4 hours a day, here's what I tell people. Work your job 9 to 5 and work your business 5 to 9. That's 4 hours a day. Work your job from 9 to 5, then work your business from 5 to 9. Have that conversation with your spouse. Have that conversation with your family. Let them know that you've got something that you believe in. Let them know you've got something to believe in that you're going to go out there and build. And here's the thing. We do have to have lives that are balanced. But in order for you to eventually have a balanced life where you've got money and time out of the way, you've got both money and time, you've got to pay the price. That's something that most people don't have. And if you want something that most people don't have, you've got to do things that most people are not willing to do. That is the bottom line. You've got to go out there and you've got to get after it. You've got to get committed. Because most people, they simply get started in the industry and they're just interested in being successful. You see, the difference between being interested and being committed is that when people are interested, they do it when it's convenient. When people are committed, they do it regardless. I tell people, listen, there's only one reason why you should ever miss a meeting. A meeting for your bit, whether it's an opportunity meeting or a training or a super Saturday or whatever the case is. You know what that reason is? If you've got to go to a funeral. And guess whose funeral it is? It is your funeral. That is the only reason why you should miss a meeting. Don't miss any events. Don't miss any functions. Read 10 pages of a good book every day, of a personal development book. Always be sharpening your axe. You've got to be a champion every day. You got to wake up in the morning. Here's what I do. I wake up in the morning and I thank my maker. After I thank my maker, I go through all the things that I'm grateful for. Then I say, boom, it's time to win. Okay? If somebody asks me what's up, I say everything. I don't say nothing. I don't say, oh, hanging in there, getting by. That's what broke and average people say. So ask me, what's up, JC? A whole lot, baby. Rocking, baby. Everything. What's up? What do you got going on? See, if I call one of the guys on my team and I say, hey, what's up? And they say, oh, hanging in there. I hang up on them. I don't want to talk to them. Their energy sucks. And here's my question. Can you afford for nothing to be up? So if I ask you, what's up? And you say, oh, nothing. Here's my question to you. Can you afford for nothing to be up? And the answer is what? No, you can't afford for nothing to be up. So why in the world are you saying nothing? Would you like for nothing to be going on in your business? Would you like for nothing to be going on with you and your spouse? You guys got nothing going on, nothing interesting? No, everything is up because every word I say has power, okay? So that is a reality. So start changing the way that you talk because that's how most people talk. Don't follow the masses. The masses believe that failure and success are on opposite ends, and the reality is that they couldn't be more wrong. You see, failure and success are on the same side. Failure is a part of success. It was Watson, the owner of IBM, I believe, that said, they asked him, how do you become successful? And he said, double your rate of failure. You see, successful people look at failure differently. They look at it as a learning experience, not as failure. See, I win some, I learn some. That's it. I look at it. Business is an ocean. Most people can't swim. and I'm a shark. And you know why I'm a shark? Because I never stopped swimming. I never stopped trying. I just kept trying. I just kept working because I understood that the dictionary is the only place where success comes before work. Show me another place where success comes before work other than the dictionary. It doesn't exist. You've got to work. And here's the reality. You being involved in this business that you're involved in the next 3 to 5 years or less, you could literally retire if that's what you want to do. But you've got to pay the price in the next 3 to 5 years. You got to be extremely coachable, work on yourself and do the fundamentals. Focus on money-making activities, work with the willing, okay, and be paying the price. And in the next 6 to 18 months, you can literally get to a point where you say, wow, money is no longer an issue. Money is no longer an issue. How would you like to eventually say, you know what? Money is no longer an issue. So the next question to you is this. Is that worth it to you to go through some struggles to achieve those things? So here's a question. How high is your IQ level? What is your IQ level? Your IQ stands for I quit. What is your I quit level? See, most people have a small IQ level. Somebody says no, automatically, boom, they're gone. Somebody that they look up to says that stuff doesn't work. Network marketing is a scam, and they're going to quit. And most people are getting advice from people that are not even successful the way they would like to be. So one thing I understood from my mentors long time ago, they said, if you buy their ideas, you're buying their lifestyle. Would you trade places with them? And the reality is that most people wouldn't trade places with these people that are giving them negative advice about the business that they're in. So ladies and gentlemen, understand this. Now that you're involved in the network marketing industry, you're a part of a team that has an incredible amount of synergy. This industry creates the most synergy I've ever seen in any other business, where synergy is where two minds create a third more powerful mind. You're in a team business where your uplines have an incentive to help you become more successful. See, network marketing isn't a get-rich-quick deal, but it is a get-rich over time for sure deal if you decide that that's what you want it to be. But it's not a get-rich-quick deal, okay? So you got to have the desire, you got to follow the system. Now, one of the things I'm going to recommend you do is this. I'm going to recommend you to really read some good books or listen to these audios. Books like Think and Grow Rich, The Strangest Secret, The Science of Getting Rich, Go Pro by Eric Worre, Building an Empire. Also the audio, Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. And audios like this to help you sharpen your axe. Every single day, work the system. Every single day, work on yourself. And pay attention. You see, this audio was not meant to give you the how-tos, even though there might have been a couple of how-tos here, but this audio was mainly meant to get you that right mindset. Because let me tell you something. If you have all the how-tos in the world, but if you don't have the right mindset, you're going to still stay wherever you're at right now. It's the same example. It's the same reason why the average person that wins a lotto 3 to 5 years later, they file for bankruptcy. You know why? Because they didn't have the right mindset. They had the broke mindset. They had a broke blueprint. So whatever your money blueprint is, that's where you're going to ultimately end up. But that's why you got to feed your mind. You've got to pour your wallet into your mind, and your mind will pour it back into your wallet tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold, depending on how much effort and how serious you are. So I want you to get serious about your business because you deserve success. And understand this, money is neutral. Money, they say money talks. No, money doesn't talk, but let me tell you what it does do. Money listens, and it is very obedient. And when you learn how to call it, it'll come. And audios like this help you attract money. You deserve to make more money. You deserve to help a lot of people. And the more money you make in this industry, that means that you help the most amount of people, whether being customers or distributors, that you help change their life, because eventually you'll become a mentor. Eventually you'll become the person that's on stage giving your testimonial. So whenever you're going through tough times, understand these tough times are a part of your story. See, you cannot have a testimonial without a test. So you're going to have a lot of tests. And when you become that 6-figure earner, 7-figure earner that you desire to be, guess what? You're going to wish that you had a lot more tough times than you actually had. You know why? Because you're going to realize that these stories impact and affect other people. They touch other people, where other people say, you know what? It's not easy for him. It wasn't easy for him or her. And it's not easy for me either, but it's definitely worth it. If they went through those things and they're still where they're at right now, I can do it too. So the stories and the struggles you're going to go to, you deserve to go through them so you could inspire other people. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate the time. I hope you found value in this audio. And check out the rest of the audios on more training okay, on how to take your network marketing business to the next level. My name is JC Rangel. I appreciate you guys. And as always, I'll see you at the top, or I'll see you from the top. Take care.